When we go into this next election, it is going to be an important one. There is a very, very differing view of the future of our nation that is going to be laid out before each of us. We are going to have one choice or another. We're going to have a very different vision that takes us off into a very different direction than our founding fathers had imagined, or we are going to have a more, let's call it a more traditional approach to the future of our nation. Hi, this is Doug Sharpe, host of the National Leadership Briefing, and this is the Midweek Touchpoint. Well, as you know, if you've been on the National Leadership Briefing before and have been receiving the Midweek Touchpoints, we only have a finite amount of time to spend together, you and I, and it is by design that we do it that way. We have 1 hour once a month, always on the first Friday of the month, and always for only 1 hour, and we have about 7 or 8 minutes midweek each week for the Midweek Touchpoints, because all we want to do is touch base for those brief moments in time and remind ourselves about the things that are important to us, the 4 pillars as we refer to them, and we also want to make sure that we're doing everything we can to drill and train and prepare for those opportunities that come up for us to speak to the things that are important to us, as far as our parental authority, our right of belief, our desire to see the vulnerable among us protected, and of course, our desire to see that yoke of excessive taxation and that burden of debt lifted off the backs of our children. So knowing that we only have so much time each week, I want to make sure every week that we are focusing on exactly what it is that we need to be focusing on in that moment. Well, as it turns out, this week is all about this one thing, and you've probably guessed it already. It's you. We've got to talk about you this week because, as it turns out, and as it has always been, you are the one that possess everything we need to succeed on the road ahead. Let me tell you a real quick story. When I first took over Canada Family Action's leadership, there was a thought among many of the people that we serve that it is our organization and, in fact, our staff and us who do all of the heavy lifting. And we changed that very quickly because it's really important for us to make sure you realize that the things that move the mountains before us all come through you. It is, in fact, your citizen authority. It is your constituent authority. It is your political party membership. It is your kingdom authority that's exercised in the proper moments in time that actually have the impact and through which influence comes. So if you think that we're doing all the work, I just needed you to know that it's actually you that are doing all the work. Now, what does that look like, and why is that so important for you to know on the road ahead? Well, think about all the things that are coming at us right now. We have an opportunity right now coming before us where we have a federal election on the horizon. And what is going to be flown through you at election time? And that is an opportunity for you to exercise your citizen authority and cast your vote. But there's something else that you need to understand about you, and that is that you are a center of influence. So it's not just your vote that matters. It's the fact that you can have influence around you in your sphere of influence as to how other people vote as well. So that is why it is so key that on the road ahead, you develop that sphere of influence and make sure that you're identifying in your immediate orbit all of those individuals that share your views and values and are going to appreciate knowing who it is that they could be voting for that best represents their views and values as well. Why is that important as well? Because when we go into this next election, it is going to be an important one. There is a very, very differing view of the future of our nation that is going to be laid out before each of us. We are going to have one choice or another. We're going to have a very different vision that takes us off into a very different direction than our founding fathers had imagined, or we are going to have a more, let's call it a more traditional approach to the future of our nation. So this is why we need to make sure now that as individuals, as you, that you are doing everything you can to identify those people around you, because we are going to want to also not only cast our vote and exercise our authority, but we're going to want to help influence others around us to exercise theirs. So please keep that in mind. Recognize how important you are on the road ahead. Now, one task I can leave you with today that will help you in exercising this plan to fully appreciate that. And that is I'm encouraging you to come to the next National Leadership Briefing. It's the first Friday of May, and it is going to be a very, very important briefing because we are going to be setting the stage for our approach to how we're going to be communicating during the election. And it's really important that if you have any friends, family members, or people in your community that you know share your views and values who would appreciate seeing the 4 pillars advanced into the conversation during the election, it's important that you have them join us on the National Leadership Briefing. So please go to nlbcanada.ca, find that registration link. That's nlbcanada.ca. Find that registration link and share it with your friends and have them join us on the briefing. We're going to talk about the 4 pillars, of course. I'll be introducing that to them. We're going to be also bringing some special guests on that are going to talk about the financial circumstances that we're in, because we have a serious challenge ahead of us on the road ahead with the yoke of taxation and excessive debt that is being placed on the backs of our children. So we're going to talk about that and a whole bunch of other things that your friends, your family, your colleagues, they are going to appreciate receiving this information as well. So please take up your role and the importance of your role on the road ahead and join us, and let's exercise our authority on the road ahead and advance the things that are important to us in the conversations leading up to the election. Thanks so much for your time today. Hope that was helpful. I look forward to serving you on the road ahead. In the meantime, God bless you, God bless your family, and may God continue to bless this great nation of Canada. Bye for now. These are the things that we believe in. First, that parents have the right to raise their children the way they want. Second, that those we elect to serve us in civil government must respect and defend our right of belief and freedom of religion. Number 3, that the laws and policies of civil government must provide for the safety and security of the citizens, especially the vulnerable among us. And number 4, that it is inappropriate to heap debt upon the backs of our children and future generations. They came from you. They're your pillars.